had their separate heads and brains.
Yes.
They had separate arms.
Yes.
They had separate sets of legs.
Uh-huh.
But around the abdomen, of course, they shared some very vital organs.
So they're facing each. Hey guys, welcome back to the E&B Clinic. My name is Esther.
And I am Beatrice.
And this is the platform where we discuss matters health in relation to real life experiences. So on today's discussion,
Yes.
Beatrice, what do you have for us today?
Okay, today we're going to have a very candid discussion.
Okay.
It's all about the uniqueness of human beings, how unique we are. And in this regard, we're going to look at the birth and the life of two conjoined twins, Ronnie and Donnie.
Ronnie and Donnie.
Yes, Ronnie and Donnie. They were conjoined twins.
Okay.
So let's go back to when the mom was pregnant.
All right.
So when the mother of Ronnie and Donnie was pregnant, she believed she was carrying only one baby.
Oh.
So she went throughout the pregnancy knowing I'm carrying one baby and I'm preparing for one baby.
Oh.
This was back in the 1950s. So she went through, the pregnancy was okay, it was smooth, everything was fine until she went to give birth on the 28th of October 1951.
Okay.
The mother went in and was admitted, and now she was about to give birth to her baby. But it turned out it's not as they had planned.
Okay.
Because the baby was not one. Indeed, she was giving birth to twins. So this turned out to be one of the most unique births in history, as the babies born were conjoined twins or Siamese twins, Ronnie and Donnie. So our babies, they were joined at the abdomen, and the most unique thing about these babies is that they lived beyond what the doctors expected to become the oldest conjoined twins. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, let me say about the birth, a little bit about the birth. When they were born, when the babies were born, they were beautiful babies when they were born, but they were joined at the abdomen, and combined, they weighed 11 pounds, around 11 pounds.
Yeah.
And the doctors didn't believe like they could make it, because in most cases they expected like conjoined twins wouldn't make it long enough. I remember it was in the 1950s. There was nothing much about, fine, they could be separated, but this was a rare.
Yeah, it was a rare occurrence.
Yes. So the babies were born and they started growing up in this family, and they were the way they were joined at the abdomen. That means they shared some organs, and some organs they didn't share other organs.
Okay.
So like they had their separate heads and brains.
Yes.
They had separate arms.
Yes.
They had separate sets of legs. But around the abdomen, of course, they shared some very vital organs.
So they're facing each other.
They were facing each other. Actually, they lived facing each other throughout their lives, 24/7.
And they're both standing on their feet.
Yes.
Okay.
So, as they were, the way they were joined, we have some very vital organs that they shared.
Okay.
For instance, let's say they had different kidneys.
Yes.
Which drained into different urinary bladders. But the two bladders joined and had one single exit.
Oh.
One single exit.
One urethra.
One urethral tract.
Oh.
Again, they had separate stomachs.
Okay.
Each one of them, like after eating, it would go to a different, separate stomach.
Yes. Okay.
And then from the stomachs, the food would go to different small intestines.
Okay.
But then when it came to the large intestines, the food would go to one single colon and would exit in one opening.
So one of the twins is the one who was doing the excretion.
Exactly. That means
excretion of fecal matter
and urine. In this case, in this regard, it was only one twin who controlled the bladder.
Okay.
Who controlled the like the rectum and the colon and the movement in the colon. It was one single twin. The other one could eat, could do all these other things, but he couldn't control the release of this excrete. So of course, it's the brain that controls. Like let's say if the bladder is full, but I'm wondering the bladders were separate and but the urethral opening was it was one single one. So to decide when to go to the toilet, I believe they have two bladders, so I think the urge to go to the toilet was had to be done by separately because there are two bladders. So as it stretches, it sends these signals to two different brains.
Yes.
But now the act of now going to urinate had to be controlled by one person, by one of the twins.
Yes.
So it was indeed very unique because you're joined at the groin, and again the genitals. It was only one single set of genitals.
It was one single set of genitals.
Course, because even the opening is one.
Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, so it's not like they both have the urethral tracts. It's just that one is functional, the other one is not functional.
They have only one single one.
Oh, they only have one single.
Yes, one penis, one anus.
Yes.
Yeah, like that.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yes. So they shared some organs, but they didn't. The others were separate. But now we look at these people, Ronnie and Donnie, as two individuals, two different individuals. They had two different functional brains.
Yes.
Two different personalities.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they were two different people, but living as one.
Yeah.
Because of the organs that they shared around the abdomen.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. I don't know. I'd love to know more about their social lives. How did they live? Did they get education?
Yes.
Did they get married?
Actually, what happened after they were born, as they were growing up, this was a very unique thing in that society.
Yeah.
So what actually happened? They were taken for exhibition. Yes, they would be taken to a certain field. People would view them and they would pay.
Oh my.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened as they were growing up. So I think they did not get that chance to really go get the formal education like the other kids. But this brought in so many controversies, and there were so many organizations and people who were concerned about it.
Yeah.
They raised
Is it
issues.
ethical?
Exactly. The ethical part is what really, most people felt it was unethical to really take them for exhibition.
Yeah.
And this raised so many issues until now they stopped doing this. But they grew up together as twins, facing each other, of course. They had different personalities.
Okay.
Like one of them was really bubbly and happy. The other one was always,
maybe dull.
But they knew how to cope. But they would sometimes they would really, they would have, what is it called?
Disagreements.
Yeah, they would get disagreements. They would fight.
Oh.
Just like siblings fight. Yes.
That must be.
It was the worst because one of them says, when my brother gets mad, he really hits me on the face because that's the only thing they can really reach.
Oh my goodness.
So it's like a mark on the face. it was really, 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 lucky. But the good thing, even if they got into these disagreements and fights, after they would go without talking to each other also, like for a day or two. But remember, this can't go on for long because they have to discuss about things like, I want to go to the toilet.
Yes,
it's time to go
it's time to eat.
It's time to eat. So this wouldn't last long, but they really would disagree and fight.
Oh,
that's for sure. They had totally different personalities, but they were identical twins. Conjoined twins have to be identical twins based on how they are formed. Remember, we talked about identical twins
in our previous
episode about fraternal twins and identical twins. So conjoined twins are identical twins.
Okay.
As we said, when the sperm and the egg meet, they form an embryo. It grows and grows, divides. The cells divide, and then along the way they start to separate.
Okay.
So with conjoined twins, as they separate, they don't separate completely.
Yeah.
They partially separate.
Oh.
So like they can separate at the cranial side, but fail to separate completely around the abdomen.
Yes.
This means we are going to share so many cells around the abdomen, and this will go on as the babies grow.
Yes, they grow.
As they grow in the womb.
Oh.
Yes. So this is exactly what was happening.
Oh my goodness. So and something else, it doesn't just have to happen at the abdomen. It can also happen, say, at the cranial position or at the back.
Yes.
Where else? Maybe you can tell us in the comment section. Where else can twins be
conjoined? There are so many other parts, but in this case, we are just looking at these Ronnie and Donnie who are conjoined at the abdomen.
Exactly.
But there are so many other cases, and hopefully we are going to bring several of these cases so that we can look at them some more.
Yeah.
And let's remember this case is unique because these are the oldest.
Oh yes,
they're considered the oldest in the world.
And were they sharing the cardiovascular system, or
when you talk about cardiovascular system, let's say we can say,
or partially.
Let's say like the heart was separate. Each one of them had their own hearts. But when you talk about the blood vessels, remember, if they're sharing an organ, of course they're sharing even the blood vessels around that organ.
So that means, I don't know, does it mean that the death of one may cause the death of the other?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, of course, because they are conjoined.
Yes.
So the moment one, and that's why we're saying they died at 68
at
years.
the same. Okay, I don't know. Can you take us through?
It was they got congestive heart failure.
Oh.
And at this point, the doctors felt like they couldn't survive, so they were taken to a hospice.
Okay.
Remember, even the age was taking a toll on them.
Yes.
Their weight was also a problem. So at this point, the doctors felt they needed to go to a hospice. So they went for for people to really take care of them during this end of life.
Oh.
And remember, as conjoined twins, the death of one would automatically cause the death of the other, because they share some cells.
Yes.
Like around the abdomen, there's a part where if you touched around the abdomen, if you touch that part, it would affect. Ronnie would feel the sensation.
Oh.
Another part, none of them, I think, would feel.
Oh, meaning there were maybe
one of them. No, one of them, I think, felt in between. But on the other side, only the other twin would feel.
Yes.
Meaning that there's a point where now the cells were joining. There's a part where they were separate.
Yes.
There's another part where they were sharing.
Okay.
They would both feel. And this means if they're sharing some cells, if those cells die, of course, this will cause the death of all these other cells.
Exactly.
Yes. So the death of one meant they'll die. They both died.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Okay.
In a hospice. The good thing, their family was very supportive.
Yes.
Very supportive. So they lived a good life. We'd say they lived a good life, because what we know about conjoined twins, what really happens. We have many conjoined twins who don't survive even birth.
Yes.
Even, growing in the belly, the woman will just get a miscarriage. You'll never know what happened. But they were conjoined twins. Others die immediately after birth. But we have all these unique cases, amazing cases that we have all these beautiful twins surviving.
Yes. Yeah. And may I ask, there are cases that we hear of conjoined twins.
Yes.
Who opt for separation.
Yes.
So in the case of Ronnie and Donnie, was that an option? Was that an option for them? And what happened?
For Ronnie and Donnie, at one point they were discussing about separating them, but the doctors felt this was a very risky procedure.
Okay.
The surgery would be extremely risky to both of them.
Yes.
Because they were sharing all these organs, and it would mean like if you separated these ones, you need maybe to reconstruct the urethra of the other person, all these things. Yeah. And there's a time even when they were grown, they were given that option, like, can we try it?
Okay.
But they felt, we don't want to do this.
It's too much of a risk.
It's too much of a risk. And again, they had already grown so much and they were used to staying together.
Yeah.
So they said no. Let's just live like this. Yeah, so they lived as conjoined twins until their death in 2020, in the year 2020. Yes.
Oh, yes. Wow, that one is an interesting one.
Yes.
Any other question?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's an interesting one. And something else I've just remembered is that recently there has been a successful separation of conjoined twins here at Kenyatta. You've heard of that?
Yes.
Have you heard about it?
Yes, I have. I think it was Omphalophagus again.
Yes.
But they were joined at the
abdomen.
At the abdomen also. And it was successful.
Yes.
Those are the amazing stories you want to hear like every other time. Because
exactly.
It is so encouraging.
Yes.
Like these babies can really get separated and live separate lives and live healthy lives. Nice. Very nice.
Okay. So maybe if there's something that we've forgotten to touch on, you can leave that in the comment section. We'll be glad to respond to that. Thank you so much, Beatrice, for sharing with that. For sharing with us the story of Ronnie and Donnie. It's such an encouraging story. I can't imagine living with a conjoined person. Here, already living with another person inside the house. Yes. At times it can be so
overwhelming.
Exactly. So now here we are, side by side.
Yes, exactly. Actually, that's what they were saying, and that's where they got into these fights.
Yes.
Yes, because sometimes you get bored.
Your story is so motivating,
very, very,
and it should serve as an encouragement to us.
Yes.
That you should
embrace these people and with their uniqueness.
Exactly.
Yeah, and allow them. Like, I think the part of family support is what really led to them living so long enough.
Yes. Nice, brilliant.
Yes.
All right, so thank you guys so much for watching.
Yes.
Thank you for staying tuned in up to this point. We are so grateful for the overwhelming support that you showed us previously.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you liked this video, kindly remember to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe. As we close, every story told in our words is meant to educate, inform, and empower us, because our voice
is our empowerment.
Exactly.
Yes.
So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Until next time, bye bye.